I avoided cardio for almost 30 years, and honestly, I had my reasons. The message when I started training was pretty clear. Cardio kills your gains. Stay away from it. Focus on the weights. And if you've been around fitness for any length of time, you probably heard the same thing. And so I believed it, and I just didn't do it. So when I first started training, I was a skinny kid who just wanted to build muscle and look better. That was it. It's a simple goal. And everything I read, everything I heard pointed in the same direction. Lift heavy, eat enough, and whatever you do, don't waste your energy on a treadmill or running. So I didn't. Not really. Not for decades. But somewhere along the way, something started to change. Not in my training, in the way I was thinking about why I was training. Because at a certain point, looking good stops being the whole story. You start thinking about how long you can actually stay strong, how long you can stay capable, whether you'll be able to do the things you want to do at 60, 70 and beyond. And when I started looking at it this way, I had to be honest with myself. Because here's the truth. One of the strongest predictors of how long you live isn't just muscle mass. It's cardiovascular fitness, meaning your heart, your lungs, and your body's ability to actually do work. People with low cardiovascular fitness have a significantly higher risk of dying earlier from heart disease, metabolic issues, you name it. And it's not a small difference either. And the most uncomfortable part is that you can look fit and still have poor conditioning. And that was basically me, or I wouldn't say was, that is me. So I'm changing things. Nothing dramatic. I'm not training for a marathon, but I'm being intentional about it at this point. A few sessions a week, mostly low intensity stuff like walking and cycling. Things I can actually stick to. And occasionally something a bit harder, just push the system a little. Not because I necessarily love it, I'll be completely honest. It's not my favorite thing. But I understand now why it matters. And that makes it easier to actually do it. And here's what I want you to take from this. You don't have to suffer through it. There's no perfect form of cardio. You don't have to run. You don't have to grind on a machine you hate. You can walk, bike, row, swim. It really doesn't matter that much. What matters is that you find something you'll actually do consistently. Okay, so let me show you what I'm actually doing, because I think keeping it simple is the whole point. Most weeks I'm getting out for a walk, and longer than you might think. We're talking 45 minutes to an hour if I can manage it. And it's not a stroll, but not pushing hard either. Just a steady pace where I can still hold a conversation, but I'm actually moving. And a couple of times a week I'll jump on the bike, same kind of effort, comfortable, controlled, and nothing that wipes me out. So most of the times these bike rides will be to and from work, which is about 12 kilometers. That's it, that's the base. If you heard the term zone 2 being thrown around, this is basically what that means. It's that effort level where you're working but not gasping. You could talk, but you wouldn't want to sing. Your heart rate is elevated, but you're not dying. And it turns out that's actually the sweet spot for building this kind of cardiovascular fitness that matters long term. Now, once or twice a week, I'll push it a bit harder, nothing extreme. Maybe a longer hill on the walk or a slightly faster pace on the bike for a few minutes. And the reason for this is pretty simple. Your heart and lungs adapt to the demands you put on them. If you always stay comfortable, you stop making progress. So occasionally giving yourself a bit of a challenge is worth it, even if it's just 10 or 15 minutes of harder effort tucked into an otherwise easy session. Think about it like this: the easy sessions build the engine, the harder ones teach it to actually perform. So in practice, a typical week for me might look something like this. 3 or 4 times a week I go for a walk, at least a couple of those proper long ones. 1 or 2 bike sessions, and maybe one of those is where I push the pace for a stretch. And that's probably 4 to 5 sessions a week. Most of them will be low intensity. None of them are killing me. All of them are adding up. And I'm still lifting. This isn't replacing anything. It's just filling in a gap I should have filled a long time ago. I'm not trying to become an endurance athlete. I just don't want to ignore something that's clearly important. And if you've been doing the same thing I did, like putting it off, thinking it would eat into your gains, your well-deserved muscles, it might be worth a rethink, because this isn't just about performance. It's about how long you stay capable. And that's worth a bit of your time each week. If that is something you're thinking about too, I suggest you stick around and we'll figure this out together. Thanks for tuning in, and catch you later. Bye.